If you have ever thought, I am scared to eat more because I don't want to get fat, I want to build my shape, I'm scared of feeling a little bit fluffy, or maybe my calories are really low and I'm not really seeing any sort of progress, then you are not alone. And most women assume that eating less and less and less is going to lead to them looking leaner. But if your goals are to build a strong, athletic, defined physique, I'm not saying that fat loss doesn't have its time and place, because it absolutely does. But ultimately, if you are dieting down constantly and you are not getting that kind of strong, defined look, that muscular look that you actually want, then you most likely need to take a step away from dieting and actually work on building your calories up and building some muscle. So I'm going to explain to you in this video exactly how eating more and building your food up will actually lead to the physique that you want. So what actually creates that look? Your shape and your definition are not just going to come from endlessly dieting. So what you want is you need enough muscle, and you also need low enough body fat to actually reveal it. That is going to be the thing that actually leads to you having that definition. So if we actually break it down, how does that work? In order to get more muscle, we need more food. And what's going to happen is more food is going to lead to improvements in your training and also with your recovery. Okay, so if we have got improvements in your training and in your recovery, what's going to happen is you are going to get more muscle growth. And more muscle growth is ultimately what is going to give you your shape and what is going to mean that your maintenance calories increases. But you're never going to get to this point here of having more muscle and more shape and higher maintenance calories unless you start with this, you actually give yourself more food in the first place. So I'm not talking about just eating whatever the hell you want, I'm talking about slowly increasing your food in a strategic way and actually pairing that with good structured training. It works like a positive feedback loop. So you put more food in, you really optimize your training, you optimize your recovery, and you get this positive cycle: more food, better training, better recovery, more muscle growth, more shape, increase in maintenance calories. Increase in maintenance calories due to more muscle means that you can then eat more food, and it's that positive cycle that then begins. And one really key point to consider is your maintenance calories, which is the amount of calories that your body currently needs to maintain its current state, is not fixed. So you can actually increase your maintenance calories by building more muscle. And that's going to increase by having more muscle mass, by training harder and more effectively, and also by fueling your body consistently and not endlessly yo-yo dieting. So a little breakdown of what actually happens when you start fueling your body properly in a structured way to build muscle. Number one, your training improves. Number two, your recovery improves, so you actually build muscle more effectively. Number three, as a female, you're probably in a better spot from a hormone perspective. And you also become less hungry because you're actually giving your body what it needs. And then number four, the body is very clever and your body can actually upregulate them a little bit, which means it becomes more efficient at using fuel. And this is how you'll get female A, for example, who's maybe eating 1600 calories a day, maybe isn't being super strict at sticking with it and has been stuck on low calories for as long as they can remember, doesn't really have any definition, and is the typical sort of skinny fat, feels like they're not really getting anywhere and has to push super hard to actually get the body fat off. Then you've got person B, who is maintaining their body weight and in a very, very good spot, eating maybe mid 2000 calories a day, and has basically slowly built their calories up, has trained hard, and has gone through that process of fueling the body, going into the gym, training hard, recovering well, actually needing that fuel because they're training hard, and slowly being able to work the calories up to that point where actually they have a really, really good amount of muscle and they need that amount of calories to sustain the amount of muscle that they actually have. That's how you'll get females who are in a very, very good spot, look fairly lean, and actually can eat a decent amount of food and maintain their weight because they've gone through that process of building their calories up, actually building the muscle where that amount of calories is needed to sustain the physique that they have. But if you don't come out of that low calorie mode and actually start fueling yourself correctly, you're just going to stay stuck in that low calorie cycle. And fat loss has its time and place, but when you actually want to get that definition, to get that strong athletic look, you have to go through this process of actually allowing your body to build muscle, because the body is not effectively going to build muscle eating low calories for a very prolonged period of time. And just to break it down a little bit further in terms of the weight, because I know this affects a lot of females, say if you are person A, okay? This is person A. And they are eating 1600 calories a day, let's say, and they currently weigh, let's say, 62 kilograms. And they've actually lost quite a lot of weight, okay? Let's say, for example, they started at 70 kg and they now weigh 62, so they've lost 8 kilograms. But let's say this person has not much muscle, so they don't really carry much muscle, they're still carrying like a fairly average amount of body fat. So let's say this person that is now 62 kg and has lost 8 kilograms is on 1600 calories, but they don't necessarily have that strong, athletic, muscular look that they necessarily want. And they don't really want to carry on dieting because they've already been dieting for quite a long time. So what happens is this person now actually starts to build their calories up. So let's say they managed to get up to 2,100 calories. But combined with that, they're now training really hard, they're getting stronger in the gym, and they're actually starting to build some muscle. What's going to happen is that weight is going to start to come up, okay, because they're eating in a calorie surplus and they are building muscle. So let's say that weight comes up, and let's say it keeps coming up to the point where it gets to maybe 68 kilograms. Now, the initial thing here might be, oh my God, that weight is nearly the same as what I started on. I'm back at square one. But you're absolutely not, because this person here is carrying a lot more muscle mass than this person here. And this person will actually look a lot better because they are probably going to be carrying a lot more muscle mass than this person. So this is why as a female, the weight can be really misleading. And actually when you build your calories up, you can end up in a lot better position from a body composition perspective than this person, because you've gone through that process of actually building muscle, which is going to give you that strong, athletic, muscular look that a lot of females ultimately chase. So just a little summary to wrap up. Maintenance is always going to be a moving target. It is not a fixed number, and you can raise it with the right approach. Number 2 is more food is going to support better training, better recovery, and ultimately more muscle mass, which is long-term going to give you that leaner, defined look that you're actually chasing. And point 3 is that ongoing undereating is going to keep you stuck, because you are never going to ultimately build that muscle mass that you actually need. Eating more with a purpose and a structure is ultimately what is going to move you forward. If you are ready to eat more and look and feel better doing it, then drop me a message and I will show you how we reverse women out of ongoing low calorie phases and into real physique results. If this has been helpful, please let me know, drop a comment, subscribe, and I will be back next time with another video just like this.